There we go. You got me. Unfortunately, I'm by myself at the moment. So Spudley is not here. It will be just myself, but we are live again for the Trackstars TS3 Touring Car Championship. This week we are at the fantastic Mount Panorama in Bathurst, located about 2.5 hours west of Penrith. It's a very amazing track to go to. If you ever get the chance, we highly suggest you go to Mount Panorama, because it is one of the best, well-known, renowned. And my headset just turned off by itself. That is fantastic. Um, yeah, so it's one of the best tracks in the world, I think. It is very spectacular in every regard, and even drivers from all over the world say the same thing. If there is anyone out there that wants to help jump in and commentate, by all means let me know, and we'll get you in, and we might be able to have some bit of co-commentary. So yeah, I guess by myself so far. So we'll see how this goes. So we're about to go green for qualifying. So we'll see what these drivers can do in the 5-minute qualifier that they have. So we do have some new entries this week. So we've got Yogi B54, MPM RMD 4321, and we also have that 24k gold. So my guess is he's from the MSR camp. 24k gold is. We've got MPR, who's joined in from WRT, and then we've got Yogi B for FR Racing. So it's going to be a very interesting one this week. So we've got a full grid, what looks to be 15 drivers. So it's the biggest grid that we've seen so far. I guess Bathurst just appeals to everyone in that regard. So it's going to be very interesting, I think, especially coming into turn 1 and stuff like that. So the drivers have a 5-minute qualifier, and then they have an 8-lap race, and then another 5-minute qualifier, and then another 8-lap race. So we'll definitely wait and see what happens with some of these drivers. So we'll just I'll go back on the standings at the moment. Rick Reen is actually currently the TS3 Championship leader at the moment on 1,594 points. So he's for the Triple R Motorsport number 69. He obviously runs his own series, but it's good to see that he's jumped in the Nissan GDR. And then we have Oz Tormentor behind him. He's on 1,439, and then we've got SS Boy on 1420, and then Renegade not too far behind on 1413. So second, third, and fourth, you're separated by essentially just over 20 points. So it's going to be very close this week, I think, in regards to where the drivers finish and all that kind of stuff. So give us a lap guide. Who can we jump on board from? Who's first? So we've got fly boarding here coming in turn 1 into Hell Corner, and then we've got the long, I think it's about 650, 700 meters up Mountain Straight going into Griffin's Bend. So we'll be flat out here all the way up into the 100-meter break marker up into turn 2. So it's going to be a very interesting race. So he's just come up here into Griffin's Bend. As everyone knows, I am well known of going to Bathurst. Oh, he has a bit of a spin here. A bit unfortunate there. It's not hard to do. You get on that ripple strip, and then we'll spin it around. And in saying that, we'll go on meat and cheese pie. So it's just gone through there, through the cutting, coming up here into Reed and Sulman. They call Reed and Sulman parking. Just there on the grate down the right-hand side, coming into the John Hinksman Vista. So the Vista's just there on the left, and then over that little hump coming into Skyline. Peter Brock Skyline, in case everyone doesn't know, Peter Brock is a very well known racer who did a lot of things at Bathurst as he goes through the S's and then coming into the Dipper. With this short run here into Forest Elbow, that wall there on the left hand side can catch you out very easily, as it did in Chaz Mostert back in 2016. So he had a pretty hefty accident there in qualifying, and it's a bit unfortunate for him. But yeah, it's recovered well, and he's doing pretty well. So Meat and Cheese Pie went through the Forest Elbow there, and he's making this long 1.2 kilometre run down Conrod Straight here into the chase. It'll be 300 k's, hard on the brakes, about the 150, 100 metre brake marker. Then on a little short run down here into Murray's Corner. So it'll be turn 23. Doesn't look like 23 turns, but it can definitely be a very interesting one, and it feels awesome if you get it right. And then just down here onto Pitch Straight. So it's a pretty nice lap there from Meat and Cheese Pie with a 55.3. So we'll keep an eye on all these drivers here as what they do coming around. So we've got Rick Green here with a 55.6 as they go 1 minute to go. So very nice, solid job there from Meat and Cheese Pie, keeping the car on the black stuff. So I've got who's your Monopoly money on there, everyone? Oh, we've got 10 viewers too. New drivers on the grid too should be exciting. People do tend to overthink it when it comes to Bathurst. Yeah, exactly. People do overthink it. They think it's such a hard track to do. You know, you just kind of got to relax yourself and tighten your belts and just let the mountain take you for a ride. But the mountain usually always wins. That is the saying. So we'll wait and see what happens here. As drivers are crossing the line, we've got 20 seconds to go, so they'll be all on their last lap. And they'll be sorting the grid as they come around here, and then up at turn 2, and then we'll go green flag for race number 1 of round 7 of the Taxstars TS3 Touring Cars. As we saw, Meat and Cheese go 7 tenths faster through sector 1. So we'll keep an eye on him here through sector 3. As we just go check it. Going to be a very interesting race, this one, I think. Now it goes, love Bathurst. Welcome, Matthew. I do Aussie Pryor. Oh, Meat and Cheese Pie goes really deep on the brakes there, coming into the chase. Yeah, Hondas would definitely struggle on the downhill section. Oh, I think so. I think the GTR would definitely be the ideal car for this one. And Meat and Cheese gets squirmy there. We'll see if he can better his lap. No, he doesn't, unfortunately. Where's Rick Green? QG. Thank you. Oh, Hustle gets Meat and Cheese by 0.004. That's incredible. That's a very nice time there by Hustle to get him and pip him for provisional pole at the moment. Renegade coming through. The drivers are just finishing off their lap. And we've heard some high hopes there from Venti, saying that he feels very confident about this race. So we'll definitely wait and see what he has in store for everyone. A little bit off the pace there with a 56.5, so he betters himself up into P5. Oh, Renegade gets Hustle there by 0.195 with a 155.126. So very nice job from Renegade there. He's obviously trying to hunt down that championship from Rick Green. It looks like he might have got a bit of a helping hand with the slipstream there from Venti to take him there. But so far so good. The top 3 look to be separated by 2 tenths. The drivers are just finishing their laps. Ben Stick. Who else we got? We're going to catch Yogi. So Yogi's a new addition here. He's got a 201.0. Who's the last one across the line? Ben Stick with a 2 minutes 36. I think he made a bit of a mistake there, but that's the qualifying over for round 7. So they're all listening, they're all well and good. So we're all ready to go. We've got Eyesight Nightmare driving backwards and forwards on the grid. Where did she qualify? She qualified down here in 14th. So flyboarding. We did 2 minutes 17 down here in 15th. That's a bit odd seeing him down there. It's going to be, you know, I'd definitely be keeping my eye out for flyboarding to come through for this one. Where's How's everyone's day? It's a lot Yeah, FR, WRT, and MSI driver, definitely, definitely. It's good to see that the teams are branching out through your TS2, your TS3 series, as well as your main series. So it's going to be a interesting one, I think. As we're all on the grid here, just waiting for these lights to light up, and then we'll go green flag. So at this point, Viper Z will be put out there. Green flag. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Green flag. Race start for race 1 of round 7. We'll just jump back of the field here. Hopefully no one hits anyone. Oh, Rick Green looks to get a bit loose there on the hustle. They're going 3 wide down here, boys. That's what is going? Oh, I saw a nightmare there. Gets a bit really loose there under brakes and hits the back of another car. I don't exactly see who it was. My mic turned off. I was trying to get it turned on. Yogi's in the wall, so not the start that Yogi wants at all. Very unfortunate there for him. So hopefully we'll see him punch out some quick laps and see him if he can try and catch the back of the field. I saw a nightmare. Fly boarding. They've jumped up into 12th, just overtaken SS Boys, so I think they've got a bit of a shamble. Bit of a shamble there going into turn 2. But so far, 24k gold. What are you doing, mate? That's not where you want to be. Oh, what the world is going on here? Boys, settle down. Settle down. What is going on? Oh, there's too much to go on. Oh, these drivers are just going hell for leather. It's the first lap, gents. My lord, that's incredible. But in the process of doing that, the leading pack of cars here have pulled out to a what would be a 3.6 second, 7-second gap from 6 down there in hustle. So yeah, turn 1 very clean, turn 2 you stand to tier 3 start. It's always like that, isn't it? It's fun. It always is like that. But Renegade's got an early lead here out to 1.1 seconds. I wonder if we can get the different cameras here. Nope, because GT7 doesn't offer the same thing that GT Sport does. But meat and cheese pie followed through in second, and then we got Venti and Latergator. Latergator's done a very nice job. He was fastest in practice, so don't mind me if my microphone does cut out. My headset tends to do it every now and again. But yeah, Latergator's doing a pretty solid job here up here in 4th, and then a debut from MPRMD 4321. So I don't know what that might be short for, but I guess we'll just call him MP. He's from across the ditch too, so he's another New Zealander to go with Hustle NZ and NZL Cowboy. He's doing a pretty solid job here in 7th. Fly boarding gets really twitchy, or ends up hitting Oz Tormentor. So yeah, brace and tighten the belts extra tight, definitely. You hear it all the time from the actual race drivers. Tormentor, jeez. Wow, that's very loose there. Such a hairy. Oh no! Oh my! Oh, that's a nightmare. Looks to have spun here at turn 2, so she's not having a good day at all. But yeah, so Yogi's jumped up into 13th, so that's nice job there. Yeah, Rick looks like he got pile drive coming into the S's in the dipper last lap there, spotted. You know, no replay option, so we can't go back and see what happened. So I think we may have some reports come through for this race, for race 1. So hopefully race 2 is a little bit cleaner for these drivers. But so far the lead pack looks to be going pretty well. I'm pretty sure that It's Racing would be happy to see these 2 cars here in 3rd and 4th. So this is Venti and Latergator's strongest showing at the moment up here in 3rd and 4th. So hopefully they can keep their head down, buckle their belts, and charge to the front and see if they can take it to Renegade, who's kept about a 1 second gap to Meat and Cheese, but he's got a 2 second gap to Venti, so they're definitely starting to pull away from the field so far. But we've got a ISR, MSR, 2 It's Racing cars, and then 2 WRT cars to follow with an M&R car and then another MSR car. So a lot of these drivers are associated with teams, and then we've got Robbo Sport Racing down here with Flyboarding, and then Rick Green and Triple R, so down here in 10. So it's I think maybe having the 15 drivers might be a bit of a overwhelming thing for some of these drivers, considering we haven't seen this many drivers so far in the championship at all. NZL Cowboy looks to have spun there out of the cutting, which isn't hard to do at all. So good man there from not spinning in front of other cars. That's a very hard thing. You don't want to do is spin in front of another car and try and regather yourself and hit someone in the process. But those Hondas look to be very taily at the moment, going around. So I think race 2 we may have a bit of an interesting start again. I think. Look at that photographer there on the inside of the chase. That's an awesome spot to be. Torment and Rick are going to have average points. Yeah, definitely. Tormentor and Rick are going to have an average points haul here at the moment. We'll obviously wait and see if they can get back up through the field, but being 30 seconds off the lead, I don't know if Boris Tormentor will be able to get back through the field. He might be able to get Yogi, maybe Benstick as well, but there's not really a possibility with 4 laps to go at the end of this lap. So definitely wait and see at the end on what's in store for these drivers. But FR Racing, it was pretty quick to snap up Yogi there, so it's a good signing there for Yogi. You know, just joined the series and he's already with the team, so well up on FR Racing, and who's actually got Kamara Kid, but he's not racing this weekend, unfortunately. But what do? You know, real life circumstances happen, and sometimes we can't always race. It's always good to see the drivers here, and that would have been 16 entries for this one. I think this is the biggest grid we've had so far for the TS3 Championship. Oh, where's Ladygator? Ladygator looks like I've made a bit of a mistake there. He's dropped a long way down, so he must have spun somewhere back on the last lap with a 2:06. So it's a bit unfortunate, but hopefully Venti can take it to the leaders and keep his head in the game and have his best performance yet with a P3, maybe even a P2 if Meat and Cheese can have a bit of a battle with Renegade and can catch up. But yeah, it's good to see that our series is getting bigger, having more drivers jump in and stuff like that. So hopefully we can get some more TS2 drivers to join in the mix. Got another Lexus on the grid too, with that 24k gold, because I knew that I know that Spud definitely fancies that Lexus, because I know I do, but the Honda definitely has a sweet spot for me too in TS3. So yeah, definitely for round 1. Yeah, Bathurst, mate, definitely. You don't say Bathurst with F's, it's Bathurst with a TH. It's not. We're not down there in Penrith or anything like that. But yeah, I definitely love this place. This place is absolutely awesome. I'll be back there in I think it's 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. I'll be back there. So there's the Bathurst International, and then Challenge Bathurst, and then back there again in February for the 12 hours. So 12 hours is going to be very interesting next year with all the internationals able to come back over from overseas. You know, obviously COVID struck everyone; they weren't able to get over and weren't able to race. But yeah, next year is definitely going to be very interesting. So if anyone's going to the 12 hour, let me know, and then we might be able to catch up at some point. But solid debut here from MPRMD with a P4 at the moment. Fingers crossed. But as we all know, Bathurst bites, and when it bites very hard, as every driver knows. And you know, the old thing is safety cars breed safety cars here, so it'll definitely be interesting tomorrow for the main series race. A bit of hints in the chat saying it's bratwurst. Maybe for you, mate, but I'm Aussie, so I won't be having any bratwurst anytime. But Hustle's under a bit of pressure here from Ladygator, so I think Latergate has definitely moved up the grid, if not Hustle's made another mistake. But we've got a Lexus 6 and 7 hunting down a Nissan position 5, so it's good to see. And then not too far back, we've got Rick Green and then Ben Stick in the Honda. So I think the whole Honda struggling is definitely coming to tuition here, with what you said, Spud. But up the front, we've got Renegade here. So unfortunately, from last round, Renegade actually got a disqualification from one of the races because he was found to be wall riding. So he copped a DQ for that one. He got 0 points. So a bit unfortunate, but rules are rules, and anytime someone's caught wall riding, it is an exploitation of the game. You know, same as short corner cutting and stuff like that. So it was a bit unfortunate. It dropped him out of the points for second or first, but you know, there's still more rounds left and 2 drop rounds as well. So anything is possible come last round here of the championship. But we know as well, Meat and Cheese has been having solid runnings, and then he makes one little mistake and then it'll drop him down the standings. So fingers crossed he can keep his car up the pointy end of the field, and Venti as well. He's down here. Someone's having a bit of a squirrel. Ooh, Latergate as well made another mistake, and he's dropped all the way back down to 8th. So you know, the one little lapse of concentration can either end your race or end your good run that you're having. So as we say, good old Bathurst. But for something that's a what is a road, a 2-way road, 60 km/h, definitely turns into a magnificent racetrack. And I did actually have a hot lap here in a Hyundai i30N, and that thing was absolutely insane. The gradient and stuff like that. I do believe it's about 180 or 190 meter elevation from pitch straight all the way to the top and the peak. So it's yeah, it's a very interesting track, and all your international drivers that come over, they absolutely love the place. So yeah, if you ever get the chance, I do suggest going to Bathurst for some races and see if you can get in a hot lap. If not, just make a drive to Bathurst and go for a lap. So it's yeah, very interesting piece of tarmac that turns into a racetrack. But the gradient here, I'll just go in on a cockpit view. You can see how much it drops down and then picks back up. So you're actually going up, braking into turn 2, and then it just continues up. So it's got its own features, and I don't think there's really any other track in the world that has it. So I guess that's what makes it one of a kind. And yeah, it's just an absolutely fantastic track to see. We've got Brando jumping in. Howdy all, how are we today? Good mate, good. How are you going? How's everyone else going? But ooh, overtaken prohibited? Who's that? Oh, that's Nightmare. So Nightmare's just staying there. I'm surprised Matt is not commenting based on the fact that he's doing DJ's job this weekend. Mate, from what I've had in practice, I feel pretty confident. So just because I'm not in the car for the top 6, I definitely wouldn't count out the 95. It's racing, but Meat and Cheese looks to have dropped off the back here. But Renegade's definitely put in some work, running the good old traction control. You know, main series, not many people do it, but I guess, what do you do? Spud, mate, we're missing ya. We've got 17 viewers and we're missing ya. So I'm having to do this flying solo. But you know, what do you do? You got family coming back from overseas, so hopefully your parents are all well and good, and they're having a good time back in the what people say amazing Australia. But yeah, you know, what do we do? We just keep going. But yeah, Renegade, Meat and Cheese Pie, as you said, he has a bit of inconsistent results, but yeah, he's damn quick when he's in the right headspace. Definitely, I think that's a majority of the drivers, if they're in the right headspace. So the field is very spread out at the moment, but yeah, getting revenge from last week's DQ. Definitely, I know I would be, certainly. The Renegades coming down here for the final time into the Falcon Forest Elbow for the long 1.2 kilometre drive down Conrod Straight, and we've got Rick Reen here with a nice solid recovery drive back up into 6th, but he's on the back of Hustle there, so I wonder if he might be able to get a top 5 here, from considering that bit of a rocky start from Rick Reen there. Later Gator as well on the back of 24k Gold, so I wonder if he might be able to get another position. But coming around to turn 23 for the last time, we got ISAR Renegade 575 going around Murray's Corner, and he's about to take the checkered flag for race 1 of round 7 here at Bathurst for the Trackstars TS3, and setting a personal best lap. Meat and Cheese Pie setting the fastest lap on the final race and getting position 2. And Venti SS Gaming, solid drive there in the number 31, getting his best performance so far in the series. MP getting it really loose there and on the grass. It's crossing the line in 4th. Nice debut there. Hustle NZ in 5th, Rick Reen in 6th. Nice close finish there. 24k Gold with Later Gator rounding out 7th and 8th. And then a little bit further back, the first of the Hondas, we got Ben Stick 7 in 9th for the M&R boys, and then SS Boy 12 seconds back from him in 10th place. So that's not usually where we see SS Boy down in 10th, but maybe he had a bit of a spin on one or two of the laps. But you know, that's racing, and you just kind of got to take what you can get. With Oz Tormentor crossing the line in 11th, Flyboarding in 12th. NZL Cowboy in 13th. Yellow flag here. Nightmares in 15th, so she actually got lapped. A bit unfortunate there, but yeah, so Flyboarding in 12th. NZL Cowboy, the third Hondas, coming across the line in 13th. Yogi B54, crossing the line in 14th. A minute 36 with a PB lap of 159.09. Oh, as I say, that 158.5, so it goes half a second faster. And then ISO Nightmare rounding out the grid in 15th. So nice solid recovery drive there from Rick Reen, and award goes here to Renegade 575, taking first place in race 1. So definitely a pretty strong showing there from Renegade. Definitely bouncing back from that DQ last round, but in the meantime, we'll let these guys have a little bit of a break, and I'll also go and have a break, have a bit of a drink, and shall be back very shortly. Alright, we're back. My apologies there. Play some elevator music. Look, I could if I had it queued. I'll do it for TS2. Um, we'll wait and see how TS2 comes. But until then, we're about to go green flag for Q2. So I wonder if anyone's done a lap. No, they haven't. They're good. They're sitting in pit lane. Awesome work. 15 drivers. Wow, this is crazy. But we'll start the timer for 5 more minutes qualifying for race 2 of the Trackstars TS3 Championship. Just so we can keep on time here. So we don't want to fall behind because we do have the top 6 shootout for main series coming up later tonight. Where we've had 2 nights of qualifying, and we've had the grid set from position 7 all the way to position 14, and then we got the top 6 cars. So even though you might be starting 6th, there could be any possibility that you may even start 1st or 2nd. But so far at the moment, we've got Matt Simmons and myself on provisional pole, and then we've got Speedy Tyres Captain Risky in P2, and then Diswood and Lunacy in the CP Motorsports, defending champion in 3rd place there. So it's definitely going to be a very interesting top 6 shootout tonight. But in between then, we have race 2 of TS3, and then we've got TS2 as well. So it's going to be a very long night, and then obviously the Bathurst 1000 tomorrow morning. So if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, put your turn your bell on so you get notified for when we go live here. But so far it was definitely a good race for some, and Venti with his best performance yet with P3. Very nice there from Venti. He has had a bit of a rough time lately, but you know, he's put his head down and worked for what he's got. But yeah, solid job there. Until then, the drivers are going around waiting to start their lap. We've got 3 minutes 10 to go, so they'll only really get 1 flying lap in, and this is what you don't want. You don't want a bottleneck of cars. So I think these guys should just spread out and let it go, because that can happen. One driver runs wide and you don't get a good run into the straight. So I think what's best here is these guys just spread out. I think the best person here at the moment is NZL Cowboy. Great stream call, worth more money. Thanks Tony. I think that's Griffo. Thanks mate. I am by myself at the moment. Spud's actually with his parents, so you're seeing his parents. So I am by myself. Hopefully we'll see him for TS2. But yeah, later tonight we will have 2, if not 3 of us in the combox for the top 6 shootout. So that'll be definitely a very interesting one come later tonight. So at the moment we've got Flyboarding leading the charge here for qualifying with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go. So keep an eye here on Flyboarding and see what he can do. But he's got Meat and Cheese by right behind him, so if Meat and Cheese can get a solid draft here from Flyboarding, it might be on for pole, because we do know that Renegade pipped both of them. Speaking of Renegade, Cowboy. As I said, that's what you don't want. So you don't want to be bottlenecked with a lot of cars, especially on a tight track like this. You know, there's only one line from essentially turn 2 all the way to turn 18, 19. So really, you don't want to be bottlenecked at all, because then they can just really compromise your run. But yeah, it's definitely Meat and Cheese getting real squirmy there, and as he does that, he gets on the grass there. Permanent moves to the combox and out of the driver's seat. No, I am not getting out of my driver's seat and getting in the combox full time. Thank you very much. I don't have the voice for it. That's definitely an Adam Wheeler job. I think he's found his call. Thanks, gents. Thanks, I do appreciate it. But that 24k gold, he's out here on the Lexus at the moment on provisional pole position. So we got 30 seconds to go. I don't know. Oh, we spun here. Someone spun. See if we can catch it. Latergator. So Latergator's down there in P7. Unfortunately, he's not going to better his time. So he'll be starting down there in 8th. But I wonder if Venti. There's 15 seconds to go. Hopefully Venti can get his lap in. Had a drop out there from Russell. Not too sure what's happening there. But MPRMD as well. Flag there, who just crossed the line? That was Ice Nightmare. So she's up in 11th position. She was the first car, she was the last car across the line. So all cars now should finish their lap. That mistake Murray's yeah, definitely that mistake there will cost him, but I'll keep an eye on him on what time he has here coming through sector 2. Makes a bit of a oh no, that's very unfortunate there. Oh, later Gator as well. Oh, that's not what you want. So maybe I think Meat and Cheese running off the circuit there at Skyline definitely put him off. But unfortunately, that's what happens in racing, I guess. But Meat and Cheese looks to be stuck on the track. I'm not too sure what's going on. Maybe it's the thumbs. The thumbs can't find the gear. Oh, you don't want to be doing that, mate. Oh, that was close. Yeah, no, that's not ideal there. Unfortunately for Ice Nightmare, but you know that's racing, I guess. So I wonder if Force Torment here. He's 24 seconds in front, so he should end up about P8, P9-ish roughly. But oh, Venti with P2, 55.7. Go on, son. That's a solid lap there from Venti in the 31 inch racing car. So personally, I'd like to see him in a Honda, but you know he's decided to go with the Nissan. So he split the debutants on pole position on the front row. So he's definitely doing a solid job there. But how's that on debut, mate? 24k gold. I'd definitely be pretty happy with that there, Spud. I would be. But getting pole at the moment with a 55.5, so we'll keep an eye on who's coming through here. Meat and Cheese did have a bit of a mistake on the last lap, so we'll wait and see who's the last car. Yogi, so I wonder if Yogi can better his time. No, he's down unfortunately. Isa Renegade down here in 13th, so that's definitely not where you want to be. Saying his lap was impeded. If you're listening to me, get some video evidence and then we'll be able to review it. So until then, I didn't see it, unfortunately. So if we can get some video evidence from Renegade or someone that was there, we'll be able to rule on that. But unfortunately, without any evidence, we won't be able to do it because I didn't catch it, unfortunately. But that's what I guess what we can do. But yeah, as Spud said, the first pole in TS3 for a Lexus. It is, my friend, and that goes to 24k gold. But we'll go racing here for race 2 of the Trackstars TS3 round 7 here at Bathurst in the 6.213 kilometre circuit. Keep up the good work. Have to unload my car with the transport and put my gear on. No worries, Griffo. Have fun with that, mate. I'm up in the combox. I'll have a look out the back window and see if I can see ya. But so far, yeah, it looks like Hustle is going to be a DNF, unfortunately, or a DNS. So that'll be not what he wants, especially in his fight for the championship. But 24k gold on the front row there with Venti. So I wonder if there, as you said, could be a potential win here from Venti. Oh, that's a jump start from 24. That's not what he wants at all. Oh, some drivers missing the start here. We'll go back if I can find it. Can't remember who it was. Well, Queener there. Good work. Very nice. It's a lot better. We'll just wait for dirt. My apologies again, my headset just cut out. So 24k gold, that jump start there definitely it wasn't what he wanted. They're going 3 wide here to return 2. Oh, settle down. Everybody, please settle down. At least we don't have some spinners. Spinners at the moment. Oh, Yogi getting really loose there. But as I say that, we've got Meat and Cheese, Rick Reen and Venti leading the way up in first place. So I wonder if the pressure, hopefully I don't want to get him a commentator's curse, but hopefully he can keep Rick Reen behind him, because we do know that Rick Reen is a very fast and consistent driver. So we'll wait and see on how the end goes. But yeah, that jump start there from 24k gold is definitely not what he wanted. MP up into 5th. Ice Nightmare up into 6th place. That's a solid work there and solid start there from her. Yeah, no pressure, Venti, at all. No pressure at all, mate. You and your 17 viewers down here up in first in that number 31 It's Racing more mechanical car. So we'll definitely wait and see what he can produce come the end of lap 8 and the checkered flag. So we'll keep an eye on that. Until then, we'll drop back. Who's all the way back here? Yogi. So it looks like Yogi. Oh, and he just plastered the wall there again. That's not what he wants at all. But I guess that's racing. You got to learn somehow. So that's the TS3 at the moment is what we need. Oh, he's dropping down. Meat and Cheese. No, that's not what he wanted in second. Nightmare and MPR. Yeah, they were side by side, and Meat and Cheese looks to be struggling to find reverse here. There you go, mate. You found reverse. Fleck the paddles down a couple more notches, and you'll find reverse. But yeah, he was sitting there in 3rd. So that's definitely not what he wanted. But Ice Nightmare here in 4th, and MPR up into 3rd, with obviously that spin from Meat and Cheese down here in 13. So it's not what you want at all, especially from the MSR 929 driver. So put his head down, buckle his belts back up, and 24k gold as well is spun too. So it looks like he might have had a bit of a mistake. 2 team cars made contact. Oh, they pulled a bit of Cam Waters and Chaz Moss today. They into the chase, and they hit each other and they got stuck in the sand. So obviously a bit unfortunate. There might be a bit of blow up in the team HQ there, in the team transporter after this happens, Spud. So I'd be careful, and I'd go get the popcorn after this, and just be prepared. That's for sure. So we'll definitely wait and see what happens here with those two, if they can get back. But Renegade as well, he's had a bit of a rough start to his race, but he did say he was impeded in qualifying. So we'll wait and see if we can rule on that, if we did get any video here. But Rick Green, he's made a pass on Venti, but he's run wide. No, that's not what he wants at all. Venti just goes, thank you very much. So he'll take that lead back. So very nice driving there from Venti SS Gaming. Very smart, top job there. So you can see he's definitely putting in the hard work and see what happens here. And he goes purple with the fastest lap too. As I say that, MP comes through. They're brothers. Ooh, Meat and Cheese and 24k are brothers as well. Ready for the punch-ons, mate. Oh, that's going to be a very interesting one after the race. So that'll be one to watch out for. But saying that, Venti, he's got a 2.5 second gap. So very nice there from Venti with lap 3. Bench Stick up here in 4th. Ben Stick's come out of nowhere in the leading Honda, so Ben Stick's doing a very solid job there in the M&R Honda. So I wonder if he can keep it there. But as well, Ice Nightmare. Oh, she runs really wide and really deep under brakes in the what will be the next leading Lexus. So coming through here, I believe this turn 8 up into 6, 7. This is 8 and this is 9. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting end to the race there, I think. But Ice Nightmare has had a bit of an unlucky run. She has been as high as 2nd, I do believe. I think that was at Monza. And then she ran off wide or come together another driver and got a bad result there, unfortunately. But you know, you've got to kind of keep working to it and what you can do. And then see what happens in the series. So consistency is key here, especially with Bathurst. You know, you don't want to be running offline. as Larko says, you want to be in the train tracks, as they say, at Bathurst. So you want to be in those train tracks. As soon as you get out, you're gone. So a bit unfortunate, but you know, that's racing. And Later Gator here has come up into 7th place, so he had a bit of a rough start to qualifying. Wonder if he might be able to catch the back of fly boarding here for position 6. But SS Boy running up here in 8th place. Is that Subway that I see on the car? It is. Subway branding. Nice. That's Subway for lunch yesterday, so that was good. But yeah, much better race for Nightmare Boarding. Definitely. And it's good to see that this race was a lot cleaner than race 1. I guess they might be getting their cobwebs out in race 1, turn 2, so they're all pretty aggressive. So you know, got to do what you can, I guess. Oh, Venti looks like he made a bit of a mistake here. Oh no, Rick Green was 1.4 seconds faster than Venti on that last lap, so I think Venti's made a bit of a mistake somewhere. So he's got Rick Green hounding the back of him. And MPR seems to have been dropped off a little bit for position 3. So I wonder if MP will keep here and he might get a podium for his debut. That'd be awesome there for the WRT Straight Edge Excavations in Melbourne team. So Warpath would be pretty happy with that, I'd say. I know I would be, but Rick Green's dropped off here, so I think he might have made a bit of a mistake going over the top. It's a lot hard doing it when you don't have a keyboard. There's no keyboard compatibility. 24k gold. Oh, he's stuck in the wall. You need to find reverse there, mate. There you go. Oh no. MPR could get the round win if he stays there. He could, but the other thing is you got Venti up here in 1st. So I wonder if the points will round out and round up, and we'll wait and see how that happens. But until then, I think we'll wait and see what happens. But we've got Ben Stick here as well, but he's under pressure from fly boarding and also Arsa Nightmare. So you don't really want to kind of blink if you're Ben Stick, but who would you want to be in this pack? I think honestly I'd want to be Later Gator here. So he's catching the back of that little battle pack. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. If Venti, mate, come on, Spud, don't be like that. I need to support my little junior driver, and I'd like to see him get the win. Okay. Regardless, solid debut for WRT Newton. Definitely solid signing there for Warpath. Chatter here. Chatter here in Discord. Ratty McForehead giving me a bit of crap. Good old lovely banter, which is good to see. And it's always good seeing some banter between drivers and stuff like that. Really, definitely brings them closer. Oh, Venti here, Rick Green as well. He's on the hunt. Venti on the inside. Oh, he doesn't really challenge Rick Green there, but Rick Green goes deep again. Goes really deep there into the chase and runs wide. But ooh, fly boarding as well. Gets the move there on Ben Stick. So. Yellow flag here. Yellow flag. Spun. Oh, Rick Green! No, that's definitely not what he wants. Looks like he might have got the ripple strip there on the outside of Murray's corner, and he's just planted the wall. So that's definitely not what he wants, considering he was challenging Venti for the lead. But I know if I was Venti, that's what I would want. Now he's just kind of got to relax now and just do his best and try and get the win here in the number 31. So very unfortunate there for Rick Green down there in 7th place. So I wonder if he might be able to to charge back. My apologies again, my headset turned off. This is great. But yeah, I wonder if Rick Green can challenge Horse Tormentor here, maybe even Ice Nightmare. But this will be a very solid running here from Ice Nightmare. If she can stay there, she'll get her first top 5, but that'd be awesome. But now this brings into play of the round win between Venti and MPR. So I wonder if MPR will get the round win if he stays there, considering that I think he finished in second the last race. So I think it would go to MPR, but that's fingers crossed he keeps the car on the track. Nightmare up into 4th. I think Oz Tormentor did it. No, flyboarding. Someone made a mistake. Oh, it's flyboarding. So she's up there into 4th place. So that's a very nice job there. Job there from her. She's definitely keeping her head tight in this one. Rick Green looking for the move here on Horse Tormentor. He's got Rick Green all over the back of him, hustling him in that Triple R motorsports car. We do know Horse Tormentor is pretty good in TS3 at the moment. Venti's put out that gap to 8.2 seconds with his fastest lap of a 54.8, so very solid drive there from Venti, keeping his composure as It's Racing said in the chat. So, you know, Venti, you're on screen, mate, and It's is in there watching ya, and he's watching you currently lead the pack, so I'll definitely come back to you as long as you can keep your head down. We'll definitely be looking for the round win, if not second place. But solid performance here on debut for MPR as well. So Warpath, good work, mate. Good signing. I think that will definitely be one to watch out for come the end of the season. But the 14 people on the grid, that's definitely good to watch. But Ice Nightmare here as well. She definitely drives like her brother. I'll tell you that much. Maybe he might be teaching her a little bit and getting her to drive a little bit like him, but it's good to see her here. But yeah, she's on the hunt here for bent stick, so I wonder if she might get her best performance of a podium as such in the Saint-Jean Farah Lexus SC430 for ISAR. So definitely be one to see, but she's 0.7 in front of her best lap, so we'll wait and see on what she can do here. But Oz Tormentor still under massive pressure from Rick Green. He goes really deep under brakes there, nearly doesn't pull it up and hits Tormentor, but he did well to pull it up. And not hit the back of Oz Tormentor there. Meat and Cheese Pie is on a rampage, an absolute rampage, trying to get his best. Oh, who's that? In saying that, Nightmare and Balding. That's commentator's curse there for Nightmare. That's very unfortunate. So it looks like she come together with someone. I'm not overly sure who it was. I think it might have been flyboarding. If not, it would have just been by herself. So very unfortunate there, and flyboarding. But we'll wait and see on where they finish. But Meat and Cheese is up into 6th place. So can he get Horse Tormentor or maybe even Rick Green? So Rick Green's done a nice solid drive here as well. Into 4th place. And Renegade's up into 8th. Yeah, the hype train for Venti. That's what we want, mate. He's coming through the dipper here. He's in 1st place. And the whole It's Racing esports team loving the performance. Definitely, it's good to see Venti putting in a solid performance. We all know that he does love his racing. He's had a couple of bad rounds, but he's actually gapped MPR. So he's got him out to an 11.5 second lead, 11.7 seconds. So he's doing an outstanding job there in the number 31. But MPR as well here on debut for WIT. He's also doing a very solid job. Ben Stick's currently under pressure from Rick Green, so I wonder if he'll get him down the bottom of the straight. But I can't take my eyes off this here. Venti getting his first, looks to be his first win. And he comes around the last corner, keeps it on the black stuff. Can we get surely we get a flash of the lights? No, up the Venti. Here's the hype train for the Venti mate, getting his first win in TS3 and what looks to be possibly a round win. So good work there, mate. Good top job. And MPR coming across in second place for the WRT Motorsports. Ben Stick. Oh, can Rick Green get a bit of a crisscross here? No, he can't, unfortunately. So Ben Stick coming in third. Rick Green in fourth. And Oz Tormentor down here in fifth place. So that rounds out your top five there, and you got Ice and Nightmare here in sixth, which looks to be her best finish of the season so far. Fly Boarding in seventh, Later Gator in eighth, SS Boy in ninth, NZL Cowboy in 10th, Meat and Cheese in 11th. Oh, it looks like he might have had a bit of a massive mistake there on that final lap, so it's not what he wants at all. So a bit unfortunate there from the MSI driver, but I guess that's what you kind of do. I think Renegade's had a bit of a spin. Not overly sure what's going on here, just kind of rolling over the line. And then Yogi B down here. In 13th position with that 24k gold. What I believe to be, I've been told that it is Meat and Cheese by his brother. Down here rounding out the 14. So it's unfortunate considering he did get that pole position, but you know, as they always say, you know, Bathurst always bites and Bathurst always wins. But until then, we do have up the Venti, mate. That's what you. That's what we need to. Hype train for Venti. Venti, you can't drive the safety car, but boy, can you drive this Lexus. Ruddy, it's a GDR, my friend. It's not a Lexus. But so he can't drive a GDR safety car, but he can drive a GDR race car. Go figure. Venti, well done, Venti. Good work, mate. Top job, and top job here to MPR as well, and top job to all the other drivers for the TS3. And it looks like we've got a bit of beef going on, but that can be handled when later. But other than that, solid job from all the drivers there. Let them save their replays and stuff like that. But you know, that rounds out the round 7 of the Trackstars TS3 Touring Cars, and just over an hour's time, we will have the Trackstars TS2 coming up. So until then, stick around, chuck us a follow, chuck us a subscribe, chuck us a like, and turn the bell on so you can get notified. Join the Discord, the Facebook, Instagram, all of the socials, and then we'll be happy to have you there. Admin will help you around and tell you where to go. So we'll always happy to see everyone in here for the chat, because I think this is the most active TS3 chat we've had as well. So big ups to everyone, and until then, we shall see you in roughly about an